Everything is live. Everything. It's a long road. It's a long road. It's a long road. It's a long. It's a long road. The road is long. The road is longer still. harder than you think. So here we are, 2020. And yeah, you can see what I can do with just 8 tracks now. Just 8. That's all I got going on. Every day I wake up and I remember. Every day I wake up and I remember. And hello, everyone. So, hi. Probably wondering what the hell that was. But if you missed out, you missed out. But I'm kidding. I was testing my new setup. I've been doing that for a few days now, and I've been really enjoying it. Hi, Mike. We talked over the weekend. He had a birthday. Happy continued birthday, Mikey. I've got quite a bit to go through, I guess. I mean, it was a rough day today. I just got home a little bit ago. I was at the dentist. Not the easiest day on earth, but it's getting better. It's getting much better, actually. I'm quite happy with the results so far. So yeah, tonight we're going to go over some really weird stuff. But first, I think I need to play you something, because it wouldn't be right to begin this without a little bit of prerequisite. I mean, if you were here last week, you know that we talked a lot about the Peace album. And I went through some of the demos, and I told you guys some of the stories and all the things that went wrong and how we, fought the record company. In some cases we won, in some cases we lost. And you're probably wondering, like, why did I skip over the second album? Why didn't I talk about it? Well, that's a very interesting question. I think it can be best answered by you watching this, but let me see if I can switch it. Hold on. Yes, by the way, we're watching.
What's up?
I'm Danya.
Clyde. And I'm Gary.
Anythingbox? You guys have a new album out. Want to talk about that?
Well, actually, it's not out yet. But
Not
yes,
out?
No. It's
February.
end of February.
In February. Okay. What's the vibe on that? What type of sounds is that?
Well, it's like a continuation of Peace. Yeah.
I remember not seeing you last year. You guys were here, I believe.
Right.
And new member to the group. How you doing, man? How'd you get hooked up with these two?
Oh, I'm his brother.
You're his brother. Okay. Now let's talk about the sold-out show. What's up? You guys you guys gonna have to do another show. You know that, right?
Yeah, we're thinking of coming back because we love El Paso.
Thinking about it? No. You guys have to come back.
Okay, we're coming back because we love El Paso.
You wouldn't believe that the lines have been like going crazy. It's like, what? They're sold out. Like.
So we're gonna do a lot of things, a lot of songs off our new album tonight. So, you know,
Everybody come
Yeah,
down.
what's some songs we can look for in the new album?
There's a couple of songs that we're going to do that are single choices right now.
Mm-hmm.
One called World Without Love.
I'm sorry, repeat that so we get...
World Without Love.
World Without Love, okay.
And
which
there's
Club
one-
101 has been playing, so a lot of people are now familiar with that.
Okay.
And there's
One called Beat of Life,
yeah, Beat of Life.
which is also a single contender.
And also,
Speak.
it's called All You Need Is Love. We did a cover of the Beatles, All You Need Is Love.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Which we did as an encore, like about 6 months ago when we were last here, during one of the shows. And it wasn't intended for the album. We actually did it right before we left for Germany.
Mm-hmm.
We came to El Paso. This was last year.
We did
actually.
it to give El Paso something special because you guys are great.
And
So
we wound up, it went over so well, we thought we should put it on the album, so we did.
So how did y'all get started in the business? You know, there's some people listening and say, well, I would like to do what Anythingbox is doing. What would you recommend for them to do?
get together, start a band, and play around as much as you can.
That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. As long as you're out there all the time, someone's bound to say, hey.
And you must believe in what you're doing to the point where you really have to want it, because there's a lot of factors involved that, you know, deter you from getting the goal, which is to have a record out and all that stuff.
That's what Worth is about, because when Living in Oblivion, you know, became really huge, we became really like successful so fast, but we also found out a lot of like
The
downfalls, like, you know,
so you have to really want it. You have to really, really want it,
you know,
badly.
You know, we were so busy, we forgot about our families and friends, and we found out that people aren't nice all over the place, and we're like, do we really want this that bad?
So I want to set the scene that you just saw. And I'm actually going to answer the question or the comment that I see down there that says, will she ever let you talk? And it's not Paul, it's Gary actually in there. So I'm going to set the scene for you so that you get the idea of what's going on. It's 1992. Worth is not happening. We're trying to get the album out, but we're fighting with our record company. And I'm becoming increasingly depressed because the entire recording process up until this point was in other people's hands. I have, hold on, let's see. I know I brought it up here, so I will show you. This picture is actually from the second phase of my studio, so it's not representative of the 1992 version, but the console is there. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. so that you can see. So in 1992, we had the console, we had the instruments, but the only microphone we had still was this old $25 mic. We had no way to record anything we were doing other than straight to stereo. So the depressing part of all this was that we couldn't just say, oh, let's go record a new song and put it out while we're waiting to see if this album's going to be released. So that's why I'm trying to set the scene, because Worth had cost us a lot emotionally, not just to make it. It was good to make, and it was very indicative of where we were headed. But the problem was, you create something that you feel is really special, and you really love it, and you're basically being told, oh, hold on, I got a phone call. Who could this be? Hello?
What's up, bro?
Oh my God, it is you.
That's right, it's me. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I can barely hear you though. Let me see if I can make this louder. Speak for me.
It might be my. I'm in the car, so.
Oh my God, I got Gary on the phone and he's driving. Yeah, you didn't pick the right time to do that.
What's that?
Drive. So say hi to the whole world since you're on the air.
Well, how you all doing? How's everybody doing?
So,
Yeah.
if you can, you should speak a little louder because you are not so loud.
You want me to turn my volume up, or is this good the way I'm talking right here?
You should turn your volume up a little bit.
Okay. Let's do that. All right. What about that? Is that good?
It's marginally better. So yes, people, that's my brother on the phone, calling in. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you remember what my mood was like in 1992 when Worth wasn't coming out and the stuff was going down and you were going out with us?
You mean afterward?
Well, technically, you joined us during the time it was still supposed to come out, but as people will see and how this story will unfold, it's about survival. So do you remember going to El Paso in 1992 and Juarez, and do you remember going to Chicago in 1992 and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So what do you want to...
I mean, if you know me, everyone that knows me knows that I've got a really bad memory. but I think it keeps me young.
Oh, is that how you rationalize it?
Well, that and besides my green tea that I drink at least 3 times a week. So yeah, that.
You're funny.
So everybody try some green tea. It's good for you.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
No, and I believe that's when we were traveling to all the great adventures and all that, isn't it?
Well, that happened after. That's after Hope, because by then we had made a new success, so we were happy then. So.
Oh yes.
Well, so hang with me. I'm gonna play a song, and then we'll come back. So just hang tight. We can't talk while the song is on because obviously our conversation will go out. So, but
that would be rude.
But it would be rude for both of us. Yeah. But I'm gonna set this song up so people understand where we were in the story. So yeah, we had the console, we had the instruments, we had no way to record vocals at all. Beat of Life had just gone on the radio and it was climbing the chart in Los Angeles. So we thought the album's going to come out. World Without Love had just been played in El Paso and Houston. And I believe it was just starting to get a little bit of traction in Dallas. But the album still didn't come out. So the only thing I could think of to keep things alive was to do a remix of Beat of Life, which has no vocals, but that's because I didn't have a way of recording them. But I had a way of at least recording the instrumentals. So a new type of music was coming out at that time, and I was getting really into it, which was dun, 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 techno, rave. So I thought, well, I might as well try to get in through that angle because I think we might fit in our own crazy way. So hence this song. I'm going to play it. It's The Beat of Life, for lack of a better word, an industrial mix. Oops. Yeah, that's not it. Let's see. Let's try that again.
That's what.
Yeah, that was the sped up. That was the sped up. I hit the wrong button version.
Yeah.
Why now? Okay.
Yeah, you know me and electronics don't mix. Just being on the radio. I'm gonna put all kinds of things.
It's playing, Gary. And we are back.
Yeah.
You're still driving. What are you doing? Are you on your way home or something?
Yeah, on my way home, I was playing Magic, the Gathering at the park game, and I played every Friday.
You're so funny, man.
So listening to that song, it brings back memories of like when being on stage, and that was one of my, at the time, favorite songs to get down and boogie to a little bit, even though I didn't do that much.
Well, this next bit is going to embarrass you a little bit. So,
oh God.
So I played. I don't know if you couldn't have seen it because are you watching it or something, or are you listening?
No, I was listening. I can't watch. I gotta
okay.
Watch, I gotta watch.
So, thus far, I've played them a video which was basically the first interview you were ever in, and you basically didn't say a word because you were brand new. So we're going to fast forward a little bit, and I'm going to play them a video where we're on stage and we're trying to get the crowd to sing a song that is brand new at this point, but I'm getting ahead. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to clarify a few things here. So I was saying that I was trying to get Beat of Life to chart or to get better in the chart so that they would release the album. But nothing that I was doing was making them budge. So now we were facing a problem. We had a crisis on our hands. And I'm talking to the folks. So I had a crisis on my hands, and I honestly did not know how to get out of it. I kept thinking, we can't record. The only thing we can do is play out. And this is looking pretty bleak. And at that point, I think that's probably the lowest I was feeling because, like I said, this amazing album we just finished was basically toast. So I want to say that I went back to the drawing board and I started to write new songs, but that's not really what happened. What happened instead was we tried to tour more to try to keep the attention going. And while we were on tour, if you remember, that's when we started to meet the techno bands and we played with The Movement. Do you remember that?
Bro, it's funny that you bring that up because about a week ago, started, I found this on YouTube by accident, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, the Jump song, and I started bumping it in my car, and obviously flooded all kinds of memories, hanging out with them and everything like that. And they were really cool, by the way. And, we learned a lot just from watching them on stage because we were like, damn, we got to move like they move because they make you want to jump.
Exactly. So we were learning basically how to have more energetic performances by watching the techno bands play. Because they had dancers and all this kind of stuff and they were really moving it. So some people started to ask us, later years, people wonder why you and I were wearing shorts and things of that nature. And it was because it wasn't really the fashion thing. It was because we were sweating so much on stage from all the jumping around and going crazy that was the only way to keep cool. So
I thought you were just trying to be sexy. Got to show off our legs,
yeah, that might have been that too. I mean, I do have sexy legs, of course, but
better than mine, brother.
I would show these people my legs, but if I could, but I can't. But but I digress. So in and around that time, as we were doing these things, you may have noticed, for example, in that techno remix, that there's little hints of things to come. There are sounds in there that wound up becoming parts of Answer Me. There's sounds in there that wound up becoming parts of Where's Love and Happiness. So it was going somewhere. But again, I was very depressed. I didn't want to have anything to do with recording or the album, but I knew I was going to have to come up. I mean, there was no way around it. I was going to have to be able to take the reins and record ourselves. We would have to get to that step. I'm not going to say we were incompetent, but I will say that we weren't really prepared for it. So here's a little video of one of the first instances, let's say, where something triggered something. So I'm going to just play this little snip, and then, you know, we'll see what happens after that.
So,
I'm Danya.
everybody needs somebody. See, that's good. See, that's good.
Everybody loves somebody.
Don't you know by now that life is fun? Okay, let's try
All
it.
right, come on, guys. We gotta get this together.
Yeah, we do. Everybody needs somebody.
Everybody loves somebody.
Don't you know by now that life is fun?
All right, guys, give yourselves a hand.
So I hope everyone heard that, but that little bit, that little piece is the actual piece that later on I sampled and stuck on the album. So there's pieces, this is not known history, but there are pieces of all the last cities. Sorry, it's hard to speak today. I need a lot of water today. Honestly, I'm not doing so good today. But during that time period, I was sampling little bits and pieces of the songs and of the cities we were in, and they were becoming part of whatever the new thing was going to be. And something in the middle of that process changed. But again, I'm still trying to get the Worth album out. It's not happening. So what happens? We get one of the biggest shows of our entire life, which is in Juarez, Mexico.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, and I'm going to play that right now. And what you're going to hear is the actual first, and I mean it, first ever playing live of Blue Little Rose. And you'll see that the song structure is not even there. All we have is a loop, and we're just going to go for it because we're in front of, you know, thousands of people, and I'm going to play a new song that I just wrote, and I thought, we're doing it. So I remember this being a little controversial because, like, all we had was literally a metronome and a loop, and we were going to do it. So we do that, and then, of course, I'm going to play Life is Fun from that same, no, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what song it is, but it's one of the, Every Single Day. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
So at this point, these songs are brand new. It's towards the end of 1992. I am now writing an entire new record. And something's coming over me, which is, I know this is going to sound weird, and I never told anybody this, not the band. No one knows this. But this was a period in which I honestly felt suicidal. Like, I thought, this record's not coming out. This was my life's work, and these people just threw it away.
But you make an album like Words, I mean, that was kind of a depressing type album. I mean,
Well, I mean, to make the album and then also not have it come out.
yeah, I guess
So, you know, you can't have, like, people don't understand how important some pieces of music or art are to the person who's making it. Like, this was a very big
Right.
deal
Right.
to be denied that these things were not going to happen. So when these new songs started coming, I sort of, at one point, just shoved Worth aside in my head. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I don't care if it ever comes out. It's done. I'm going to have to just put it in the back of my head. And this new movement that was happening, the techno thing, the rave scene, and us being invited to some of these big rave shows and things was really cool because we were not really part of that scene, but somehow we were being accepted and told, you fit in, you're fine. So we wound up taking on these tours, and that's how we wound up on all those tours where we went to, Great America and all that stuff. So, okay. So hold on. People keep asking me the same question. So, Claude, why was the album not being released? Oh, man. Okay. So I was going to save those stories for Worth, but I'll give you the brief version here. It was not released because they thought there are no singles on it and we don't see any commercial viability with this record whatsoever. We don't like it. We don't like the songs. We don't think you have any hits on it. Go back to the beginning. We're not going to release it. Despite the fact that we had a song on the radio that was climbing in one state and another completely different song climbing in a different state, they still wouldn't put it out. They wouldn't even put out a single, that whole, let's put out a single and see if we can make that work. Not even that. So the answer was no, we're not releasing it, period. And at that point, I had to fight them and I had to get out because I was worried that if I started to write new material, they weren't going to like that either. And now I would have given them all these extra bits of songs. So anyway, I digress. That's a longer story. But I'm going to play you right now this version of Blue Little Rose, followed by Every Single Day. This is from the Juarez show, and you'll get to hear it. And I had a lot of fun transferring and messing around with this today to try to get it to sound better. Yeah, I had a lot of fly-by-nights today. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to play it. And everybody needs somebody. So, as you can see, we were having a ball. And I'm trying to find what the heck I was going to read to you guys because it was important. But I forgot my place. Oh, okay. So,
Since I couldn't see the video, you might want to walk me through real quick what it was.
that was the video from Juarez, us doing Life is Fun, and the very first time that we ever did Blue Little Rose ever on stage.
Nice.
And they were all new. Yeah, they were all new songs. And we had not started recording the album, the Hope album yet. So these were like, to me, they were breath of fresh air because we were having all this energy on stage. We were really, really, well, remember, okay, because someone's asking me, I think this is, Where is Love and Hat? Remember, none of these songs are written yet.
Right.
Basically, all I have is like 3 new songs. Blue Little Rose, Every Single Day, Life is Fun. I don't even think I had Answer Me yet. I think it took a summer. And the reason that I say that is because I found this, and I'm going to read it today. So this book, it's, right here. I'm going to put it on screen. See, it says Studio Notebook, Volume 3. And I've got a couple of them here. This one will make people understand what was happening in my head. I was already like dreaming up like what it was going to look like. So I came back from one of those tours. I don't know which one. It could have been Chicago. It could have been this Juarez gig. But so I've got a 2-pager here, and it basically says subconscious dribbles. Let me tell you what I wrote. It's funny. I'm putting on my glasses, Gary, because I have to read with glasses now. Oh my God. I'm sorry, though. I make this look good. I could just do this all the time.
Oh, wow.
Listen to these words, and then you'll see where some things happen. I've seen it in your eyes. I've felt it in your hands. I have seen the fall. Life is but a dream. Words are in disgrace. Lies can hold you down forever. Words have told the story of who and what and where, who wanted all the glories and created all the despairs. I've got a question, and you don't have to lie. For every word you give me, I'll give you one more try. Take the time to smell the air surrounding you in dreams. Open up your sense of trust and give me your reply. When you were a small child, the world was in your hand, there amongst the flowers, lying in the sand. Lying in the sand. I can't say S's. Oh my God. Fragments of existence chipped away by time. Don't try to fight it, because it's all a waste of time. All these words I've written, all upon this page, all of my creations and my history. A field of grace, a stream of doubts, a thought we cannot bend. A wasted tear, a lonely child. Some things just don't last.
Is that from a Dr. Seuss book?
I know, sounds like it. But what's funny, though, is that inside of these 2 pages are the song Answer Me in pieces, basically. And then I believe it came to be. And so Answer Me was born. And that's how we got a song. And it was right after one of those tours, but there was something else I wanted to read you that was really funny. So first of all, you can't see this, Gary, but I'm going to show them.
No, actually, I can see you now.
Oh, cool. So this is a first draft of what it was going to cost to actually record a new album. I had already figured out the costs down to shirts we were going to need, all that kind of stuff. But of course, I still had to hook up all my gear and try stuff out. So while I do that, I'm going to play you the first microphone test that I did when I brought the microphone home, hooked it up, had the compressor running, and straight to the board, and the ADAT was running, and I was like, I'm going to make a quick test of a vocal because I want to make sure this shit works. And this was my vocal test, which is right here. So all these words are made up on the fly, by the way. This is a test.
I had a dream when I was but a child. I dream of a world that lived in peace. I looked around and I finally found somebody who'll share this with me. She lives by a mountain across a great river, where the sea meets the sundown. She looks at the walls of the fallen and grace, and now that we know where it's gone, she had something to say. She had it all for herself, some would say. Everyone smiles and says, I had a dream when I was but a child. Somebody would share this with me. I dreamed of a fountain of youth to the world. I know that it's turning around and around and around.
So that was called She Has
I have a concerning question.
She Has Something to Say is what that was called.
Well, I got something to say too.
What?
Why did it look like I had a mohawk?
Why did it look like you had a mohawk?
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
You mean that's the only part of that concerns you?
Well, yeah.
Not the shorts?
Oh no, I look
Not the glasses? Not the braided little tail?
No, the tail was a Jedi tail. The glasses I thought was because I had pink eye. But why did I have a mohawk?
Oh yeah, that's right. I actually found, I didn't play this video because I'm going to tell you right now, I got a feeling this is going to wind up being a two-parter because there's just like crazy stuff that I found that I wasn't able to get to edit because I only had a few hours yesterday and today to get the show together. So it was really hard to get all the stuff, but I found some interesting gems. You did have pink eye because I have a video of you walking around just telling people, I'm not drunk and I'm not on drugs.
Oh man, I hated that day, man.
So yeah. So I found my notes, finally, the ones I was looking for, because I'm all over the place. I don't keep, I want to say I don't keep good notes. I do keep good notes in that there's a lot of details in here that allow me to tell really good stories. Thank goodness. But I don't tend to be chronological. So I might write something here, and in the future it's there, in the past it's here. So good luck with people who want to read my journals 20 years from now. They're going to find like entries from, 1988, smack in the middle of a book that's got like something from 2012, and they're going to wonder how the hell that happens in a book. I
It's gonna be like this time travel.
Yeah, that's probably what they'll say, but so yes, besides the fact that there's facts and figures of how much this thing is going to cost us, which wound up being about total, I think we spent $22,000 to put the album together. Hope I'm talking about. The entire thing I think cost around $22,000 in the end. But what was interesting was that coming back home from these shows, I started to get jazzed up about recording. And one thing that I threw out the window, and this is why this album to me is very important, is there wasn't going to be a single song that was written before its time period. So in other words, how, for example, Worth has songs on it that were written before the Peace era, and the Peace album has songs that were written before the album itself. When it came time to record and write the songs for Hope, none of those songs were allowed. I was not going to allow any song that was a leftover from those first periods. So in a weird way, Hope is like a first album because you have all these songs that are brand new. They're not coming from anywhere but currently being on the road, meeting fans, hanging out with people, trying to keep your career going, and jotting down all the different words, details, sound ideas as it's happening in real time. So to me, the excitement started to build when I ran that little stupid test you just heard, and I heard it back and I said, you know what? We can do this. We're going to do this right. So I set up, it took me about probably, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks to get the studio up and running where everything was going to run. And this is techie stuff and some people won't understand it, but those that have a tech background will understand. This album was basically a live record. Every single instrument came back from the sequencers playing live off the sequences, straight to tape. The only thing that we would track were the vocals, and the vocals were synced up from one machine to another. So basically, if we made any mistake, that's how it would print. So every time we did vocal sessions, yeah, those sequences would be playing live, things would be doing their thing. And as for automation, we didn't have a lot of automation. So the automation is basically these notes and us having things to do. So I'm going to play a song, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to read the first 2 weeks of, well, I'm not going to read the whole 2 weeks, but I'm going to read you the first sessions of the Hope album and what happened. Oh, and here's another throwback to Worth. I found this in the garage today. We used to throw these out when we thought Worth was coming out, and whenever we had shows, we would throw out these globes. Do you remember these, Gary?
Throwing out what globes?
These blow-up globes. Do you remember them?
Vaguely.
So
We're trying to use one.
we were going to use them as promos, and we were going to throw, like, here's what we were planning to do. We were going to put little thank you notes inside of here and then throw them out into the crowd, so whoever got it would get, you know, oh my God, our sister's on here, man.
I thought she just said, "Che, boludo."
I know, I hear. I see it. I know, it's only because you called in. She wouldn't have come in for me. You're her favorite.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, you're her favorite. It's okay. So anyway, I blew this up today, and it works, sort of. But anyway, I'm going to play a song. This is a remix. So I'm going back in time and forward in time. So this is a remix that I played
Is
on...
that where the 20,000 went, by the way?
Huh?
Is that where the 20,000 went for the album, buying those balloons?
No, those were really cheap. I think we paid $10 for, like, I don't remember. They were like 20, 30 of them. Those were those little trips that Donnie and I would take to Chinatown to look for stuff. No, what cost so much money was because people don't understand. CDs were still expensive back then. So a CD was costing us $3 for just the CD part. And the artwork, because of the way that I had, you know, designed it, it wasn't your typical jewel case. So I think that was like $2,000. And then we made posters, and that was like $2,000. And then we made shirts, and that was like $600. So everything added up. So it's not just one thing, but many things. But anyway, someone just wrote, I don't know if this is off topic, but what do you think of Prince? I love Prince. I used to listen to Prince in the early days, and if you listen to the very first demo of Hypocrites, the snare is from one of the snares that I lifted off of a Prince album. So anyway, but I'm going to play a remix that I played on one of the early streams. This is a remix of A Moment Shifting. So this is now 2020.
with my eyes. I still recall all the hours I played as a child. All the things I wanted, I just watched them slip away. All the open honesty had washed away the stains, and she gone. Although the moment shifting, can you feel it in my pulse? Has she gone? Although the moment shifting, can you see it in my eyes? In my Time keeps spinning round and round, just like a carousel. Every time it stops at this, it brings me tumbling down. All the words I thought I read don't mean so much to me. All the hidden doubts I kept out throughout into sea. Has she gone? Although the moment shifting, can you feel it in my pulse? Has she gone? Although the moment shifting, can you see it in my eyes? In my Everything I was to you, everything I dreamed, all the words I'd spoken, and all the tears that fell, all of my worries, and all of my pride, all of my innocence, all gone with time. Has she gone? Although the moment shifting, can you feel it in my pulse? Has she gone? Although the moment shifting, can you see it in my eyes? Has she gone? Although the moment shifting, can you feel it in my eyes? Has she gone? Although the moment shifting, can you see it in my eyes? Shifting, can you feel it?
A moment shifting. So now Gary's typing and he's on the phone, I think, still. Are you still on the phone?
Yes, I am.
So
There's
So-
a delay in the music.
I'm going to read a little bit here because this is, you know, the theme of this thing is how this was made, right? Pay attention to this date. So, Hope Notes, dated October 15th, 1992. For people who think recording is easy, they should try vocal compilation. Not only is it time-consuming, but a real stressful equation at the same time. In the case of a moment shifting, I was ready to throw in the towel, and then I wound up recording some additional tracks. I've calculated that I've sang the entire album now 126 times in the course of the past few weeks. Recording began on September 6th, 1992, and we haven't totaled the hours yet. I bet it's in the hundreds. Answer Me was the most fun, except when Gary and I forgot to plug in the cables and not recorded 7 takes of vocals. But it wound up coming out okay. Do you remember that happening?
Vaguely.
Well, you were in the sessions helping me record at night, so that's something that people don't know, that you were helping during that time, and you were helping
Right.
you were helping me cut vocals at that hour. P.S. Why am I even writing this stuff? Who wants to know? Does anybody? Does anybody? I didn't think anybody cared back then. So Gary has noted the Beatlesque nature of Blue Little Rose and transitions. We did a whole set of lead vocals tonight from 9:30 to 10:56 p.m. I did about 12 takes in all. Gareth would be proud of me, I think. See that? A little ode back then. I'll have to show him the songs, I think. Well, we'll see how they sound when we're finished. I think that the vocal sessions at night sound better than they do in the day sessions. I'm referring to the tonal qualities of the voice in particular. I think this may be due to the throat being completely opened up and used. To some, I suppose, it could be a disaster, but it works for me, though. I listened to A Hard Day's Night last night, and with the Beatles, and noted mentally that although there were loads of engineering and recorded errors, it still kicks ass. It still kicks ass. I learned, as it were, that it is sometimes the atmosphere that creates the song, the one, not the technique. So that's a note. I'm going to read one more, and then I'll play another song. Monday, October 19th, 11 p.m. The work today was focused on pre-production of the entrance and departure sequences of the album. This is important. I realize that such is not as important as the vocal compilations themselves, but Jeff Underwood and I had agreed to this day to get the crowd loops going. They sound decent, although I will probably axe the intro and outro. Jeff did a good job of it, but the approach was all wrong on my part. I think that the vocals should be saying something in the order of "Welcome to Hope" or "Here They Are, Anything Box." So do you understand that the notes that I'm writing here are like the production notes of the things that you finally heard on the album? And then at the end, it should say "Thank you and good night." So it's supposed to end. It was supposed to end with "Thank you for being here with us, and I hope you found what you were looking for." It doesn't end that way, but as you know, I had you record the intro. And do you remember Jeff Underwood? Jeff was like the guy that we met out in Riverside, and he and his wife owned like this little cafe, and we played there a couple times. And he wound up helping out by lending us a sampler of his that did special vocoding, and that's how we got the little weird robot sounds that were on the album, because we didn't have that tech at the time. So again, the underlying current that I'm trying to tell people about this record was it was uplifting. We were having fun in the studio. We were doing things the way we thought they should be done. We weren't fighting about anything with regards to the songs, whether you were working on them or whether I was working on them. It was just happening. It was a happy time. Like, we were so happy. Like, it was such a great feeling to, like, we're in control of this record and it's coming out exactly how we're imagining it. So this, to me, this is why Hope, when someone says, like, why do you like the Hope album so much? For me, it's like it's the first album. We're doing a record where all the songs are new, the technology we're using is new, the techniques that we're using are innovative to us, they're new. We had just come from Germany and learned all these cool engineering tricks, and we were going to use all of them on the record. You know,
Plus, you had your little,
my what?
your little bro. You had him by your side. You know?
Yeah. Oh, look at you giving yourself little. Well, that's important. I had, you know, I mean, I could say it. You know, my siblings are my best friends, so obviously, having my brother on the road with me was special because I could say whatever the hell I wanted to say. Because you got to realize something, and I'm switching to 2020 for a moment, but just for a moment. You know as well as I do that between siblings, you're going to say the most asinine, fucked up, most completely incorrect things that you could possibly say to each other. In the heat of the moment, whether you're having fun, whether you're talking about other people, you're going to say whatever the hell is on your mind without filters.
That's correct.
And there's no one, no matter how close you are with people, you're not going to have those kind of filters the way you have it with, you know, your brother. So that part was good for me. I needed that. So anyway, I'm going to play another song. Let's see. What am I going to play? Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to do the every single day thing, but I'm going to save that for last because I think, we're pushing it. So I'm going to play the entrance, and then I'm going to play Answer Me right after that, but the remix, the 2020 version of the remix. So here's the entrance to Hope. With, by the way, the samples from that Chicago show I played earlier, where we got the crowd to sing. So, uh-oh.
Technical difficulties?
Hopefully not.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, Anything Box.
I switched to black and white cam for this. Well, thank you, all of you. So yeah, that's the 2020 extended, and yes, it's going to come out with the other one and a couple of other goodies. I'm trying to get it finished before. I was trying to get it for this week, but it just didn't work out. I don't like to release them without good covers and a nice PDF to go with it and some good artwork. So give me a little more time. I promise I will. So I'm going to read again because some of this is really cool. At least I think so. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Okay, so this one. So you notice that all of these are happening in October. So I think, based on this journal, sorry, let me turn this thing off. There, it's a little clearer. I think that by this journal, I can gauge that 90% of the work that we were doing on this album happened between October and December. December tapers off, and I think we were doing shows, but all of the entries seem to be in October. So here's October 19th at 20th at 12:25 in the AM. Today we compiled Hope, Life is Fun, and Rise, only to discover more vocal sessions are going to be needed. The Hope and Life is Fun sessions went exceptionally well. So get this. Keith recorded me and Danya as well. So that's Keith from Cause and Effect, by the way. I find that the vocal sessions are easier at night. Perhaps it is because I'm used to performing at the hour. The takes were all usable, I think. Another compilation session will do. After a few Rise and Love flows, I think we're all about done with vocals, and now we're on to Danya's. I will have to figure out on a monitoring situation for her vocals, since I'll be working the vocals in the mix as if it were a final mix. That's because that's how she liked it. I'm excited about working on this record. It's going to be one of our very best, I can tell. You being vain there. On Life is Fun, we sounded so young. I guess we're not so bad. This digital machine we have is just fantastic. It sounds warm and inviting, and I'm loving what is happening with our third record. I have never felt so happy with my own damn work as I have over the last few days. We will be recognized for something good at last. That's ours. I hope. And I mean this in the most humble way. People know what this band can really do. Producing an album, really producing it, is a task of great proportions, but I welcome it. I'm quite into it, and I think we're very able. I think we did a good job.
Yeah, good.
Thursday, October 22nd, 1992, we compiled the vocal takes for Hope. Finally, it's coming along great. Let's see if there's something juicy. I want to see if there's anything juicy in here. So little funny trivia things that come up, right? So phase 3, pre-production, part 1, and vocal sessions and all the vocals are over. Where did all that time go? October 27th. God, we must have sung the album now 100 times or so. It's hard to read my own handwriting. What a fulfilling feeling it is to call this our own creation. What an awesome feeling. Next phase, Danya's backing vocals, and we'll be ready for the final phase, mix down. That should begin soon. And then it jumps to November. It says November something. 3 songs left for Danya to sing, and we're ready for mixdown. What a thrill. They sound good. I'm in love with the songs. It's like Peace all over again, but better. Actually, it's more like Ascension. So there's your understanding right there. Mikey will understand what I'm saying there. It's like that first demo. We recorded it ourselves. We did everything ourselves, and that was the nice feeling. We could do it. I have a good feeling inside me. Thank you, God. I mean it. 1 song left, and that's it. And then it says, ah, shit, I thought I was done. There's one song left. So it looks like final mix was November 18th and 19th, and that the Every Single Day remix was the very last song to be mixed. And that was it. And then that ends, this book is like just basically notes on, really, like, it's kind of depressing. If you read it in one sense, if you read some of these entries, it's depressing because it's like, called a certain record label, they said no. Called another agent, they said no. I have a list of record labels that I sent demos to, and all of them said no. So somewhere around here, I forgot where it is now, but somewhere around here, though, there's a little phrase, and it was like, so be it, Orange Works. Oh, right here. Right here. Which is funny because it says 1991, but it's wrong. The first sketch. And at the very corner, at the bottom, Orange Works. Yes, Miss Kathy C says, this shows how important it is to keep a journal. Oh, I'm a journaler. I have journals beyond journals. My journals are very, very good now. They weren't so good back then, but they are very good now. So then after that one, I switched to this book. And I think that's it. Because I don't want to... Oh, that's funny. So this bears... Look at this. I don't want to like show the guy's phone number. But so that's where the record was mastered in the end. Digital Brothers. Which was, again, going to the mastering session was an amazing thing. So I'm going to play a song coming towards the end of this segment. I think we're going to have to do this as a two-parter now. I'm almost certain. So I think I'm going to have Robert call in on the next one because it looks like we're going to have two sessions now on this album. But I'm going to play a song that has one left over from Germany. Not in the song, but in the percussion. I'm going to play the title track. And I want to see if someone can guess where the percussion in this song comes from. I'm switching to the overhead. And let's see if we play this okay. Oh, God, it's still acting up. Okay, here we go. That brings back such happy memories for me. Um, that song was written to commemorate the best parts, the very best parts of Worth. It was sort of like my goodbye song to it. Um, and I was remembering the times that I would go to this factory in Patterson with my uncle, and he would work late at night, and I would just go along for the ride, help him out, and then I would write songs deep in this factory because it was very echoey. So it was very very emotional for me. That song still is. One of the reasons why I don't really do it very much live is because I find it very hard to sing that song and keep a straight face. So I kind of, it's a bit heavy on me. But the percussion, anyone guess? Anyone guess these sounds? I have nice recordings of them now, but back then I had to, oh my God, I've cleaned them up and I've gotten new ones since then because the band has been nice. But that's from Neubauten. Those were Neubauten samples that some of them I had taken when I was in Germany, and they were recording in the studio next door. So another rule that I had made for Hope, and a lot of people don't know this, but was that I didn't want to use any of the drum sounds that came from the Peace album or the Worth album. In fact, I avoided them. That's why the sounds of the drums are a little different on Hope. It was that idea of like, we're going to start new and everything's going to sound new. So I avoided it. But it was nice to get into that studio and record Neubauten sounds. And then later on, they released a kit full of sounds and I picked it up because I loved it. And some of my old ones are still in there, which is some of the percussion on that song. So, so I got a feeling this is going to be a two-parter because there was a lot more material, but it's way too hot to stay up and I can't do it. I had too much of a crazy day and I can't stay up much longer. I was up at like literally 5:30 this morning, so I'm toast. So I'm gonna play. Oh, someone said, what's the Hope and Russian connection? Oh, you mean this? This. Take a look at that picture, by the way. I love that picture. My friend Robert now owns that painting, the original. I'm going to apologize to Robert right now. Robert, you can call me on part 2 because part 1 is almost over. And I realize I'm not even halfway through all the stuff I wanted to talk about. So we'll get to enjoy, or I don't know if you're enjoying it, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm sorry if it sounds weird. But the Russian connection was simply, well, I'm going to read you something that, so the Russian connection happens almost 25 years later, but I kept an open mind because of what I wrote in 1992 that I sent out to labels. So this was sent out to labels, this letter, between me and my friend that was acting as publicist at the time. This is hilarious. You don't even know how funny this shit is, but okay. I'm going to read you what this says. This is a press release, and I wrote parts of it, and then, somebody cleaned it up, but I don't have the cleaned up version. I just have the very messed up Claude version. Yeah, that's how I write before I post, by the way. So it says, Anythingbox is seeking to sign foreign contracts with labels around the world for the purpose of getting their album Hope in the hands of the worldwide following. In the US, they are distributed by Orangeworks, which is not a major conglomerate with international wings. This may invariably change as the album, their third, keeps gaining momentum. I'll explain that in a minute. Many have been asking the group why they won't sign with an American label to promote their product in the UK or the US. An insider to Orangeworks' inner working explains, in the US, distribution has been difficult but not impossible, and we've been able to maintain a high level of productivity. However, we are a small label with a group whose following spans beyond North America, and I was told by a colleague that store owners in Finland was selling my first album, oops, I said mine right there, that they've been buying these records from other retail shops in London to sell them in Finland. So obviously that's why we wanted to get into other stores. Major labels in the States who have up to this point expressed interest in the group's US territory have been turned down. And I was proud of that because once the record was out, all of a sudden, now they start calling, like, oh, we see you're doing great. We want to maybe do something with you. And I was like, no, you can't have it. You should have done it when you had the chance. We're making money right now. We're on our own. We're paying our own bills. Everything's happening. We're touring. We're going all over the place. We've just gone to like all these different places. We're like, no way. But what we did want to do is get a label in Europe interested, and we were really hoping that would happen. It didn't at the time. It just didn't happen. But we did manage to get Hope to be released in South America, which was great. But because there was no internet at the time, because remember, this is 1992, 93. Internet hasn't happened yet, or at least the internet that we know today hasn't happened yet. So we had no idea what was happening across the pond. So unfortunately, we missed out on some really good shows and airplay in other countries because we just didn't have the manpower to follow up on that side of it. I would say that was probably my fault. And this is funny. This is so you know like what my brain is like. No country, with the exception of South Africa because of apartheid reasons, will be excluded. But anythingbox will first concentrate on, ready? Argentina, Mexico, Peru, Canada, Brazil, Germany, and Japan. Those were where we wanted to go first. And, we got lucky and some of them we went to. Gary, you still there?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Okay, sorry, man. So, I'm gonna close this. I have to say goodnight. So I'm gonna play the last bit. It's gonna be a video. It's really good. I was really surprised at this one when I saw it today, and I hadn't seen it in honestly, I don't think I've seen this in 25 years. So I was so happy when I found it. It's the last song from the Juarez gig in 1992. And of all the songs to end the entire set with, we chose a new song. And to me, that was a big deal because even now, I don't think I would do that. I don't think I would end a huge gig with a new song. You know what I mean? That's scary. But we were young and bold, and we were, on our way to making a new record. And to me, this was a brave move. So I'm going to play the Every Single Day version from Juarez with Gary now freshly new in the band. And, we were on our way. And after that, I'll come back and say goodnight. So let me see. Let me get to it.
I'll give you my heart.
And with that, I don't know why I'm still wearing the glasses. And with that, I say good night.
Wait. I thought we were going to see me do the kid and play dance with Daniel. What happened?
The what?
You know, the kid and play dance at the breakdown.
We didn't do that then. We didn't have that then. The song was brand new.
Oh, that's right. Well, maybe you can...
I have another version. Yes, I know. Part 2. There will be a part 2. I now know that there will be a part 2 because there's so much I didn't play that I had in mind. So, but we got the bulk of it. So next week, I hope you tune in. We'll do part 2. Okay.
All right.
All right, folks. I'm gonna call it a night.
Good night, everybody.
Say good night, Gary.
Good night, Gary. Oh, I mean, good night, everybody.
The end sequence is about to begin. Oh no.
I'm tired of it. Can't you see it?